tell everybody a little bit more? You've explained to me about how all of this started on a Far East trip, I believe, and all the sourcing that you've gone through to find this technology. Could you just give us a bit of a handle of, what was involved to source the solutions you've got, because it sounded like a complete nightmare, but you've done all the hard legwork to bring this technology to the UK. So what was involved basically?
Well, it's a good question. So you're right. It did start in Asia, a trip in Asia. So we took a trip in Asia about probably 8-9 months ago, and while we're out there, we actually saw that their plug sockets out there had USB ports built into it. Now, obviously, we thought, well, that's fantastic. That's exactly what we need across the whole of in the UK and across the whole of Europe. And why haven't places got them already? It just seemed mad to us. So we decided to set the business up to actually be based around. It was based upon actually buying sockets that have actually got USB ports already built into them. And from that, it's actually grown into supplying a number of products that actually include USB, as well as the future-proof faceplates. So we originally started by looking at all of the different plug sockets that incorporate USB that were being made already. So we looked across the whole of Asia, we looked across the whole of Europe, and we looked across the UK. And we actually requested samples from all of the different manufacturers that we were speaking to, and there were a vast number. So we actually got them all through. We didn't just check sort of like the speed that they actually came through. We checked the quality of the products that were coming across. We checked sort of like how well they actually worked with electricians. Basically checked exactly how well all of these products worked, and from there we then decided exactly what were the best products. Now, in the end, the main majority of the products that we actually supply are actually from the UK. So it's UK made. It passes all the UK specifications around the electricity, and as a result of that, that's the reason why we actually went for the UK ones. But it has been, as you said, a long and arduous task to actually go through all of the different manufacturers that there are making these things. And there are, if you look in the UK, there are quite a few places that are actually supplying the Chinese and Asian made products, which really don't actually match up to the UK specifications or electrical specifications that we should actually have for all of our sockets in the UK.
So there is actually a manufacturing base still in the UK. I heard it was all history. So what you're saying is, you've actually unearthed something here that can be exported, I suppose.
Yeah, I think to be honest with you, I mean, I'm sure some of the components that contained within it are actually made elsewhere, but they actually put the whole lot together and actually create the actual socket itself. The plug socket with the USB ports built into it in the UK, and they actually test every single one of their products, so they make sure that they're actually hitting all UK specifications, rather than actually having a product that's already made across from Asia that doesn't hit the specifications. And reading a number of reports, I've actually seen that that there are ones that have actually caused fires, for example. So so going with products that are actually built or put together and tested in the UK is a much safer thing for anyone.